Okay, good afternoon YouTube. Fat Cat Watch Collector, filming another video, another watch show and tell. If you're new to my channel, I do very basic, very short watch show and tells, mainly on Invicta watches. However, I've done reviews on any watch that I own, any watch I can get my hand on. And I do call them show and tells because I don't really get too much into the specifics about the watch. I hit you with the basic size, weight, that kind of stuff, and most importantly, what it looks like on the wrist. I can show you the video with the guy with the white gloves showing you up close, but you know that's just like a picture. You really want to see what it looks like on the person, and that's what's most important. Let me just adjust this a little bit here. There we go. So the one I'm going to talk about today is the model 15825 Invicta Grand Octane. Now this watch has been referred to not only by myself, but for years now as the Grand Arsenal. For whatever reason or not, they are changing the name to Grand Octane. The watch itself is only labeled as an Invicta Reserve. It doesn't actually have a name, which is really weird. Most of the other Invicta watches actually have the name on the back of the watch, like the Venoms, just like the Sea Hunter. It's very weird because when you pop this watch off, it just says on the back, you have your Flame Fusion Crystal. Invicta's always brag about that. It naturally says Reserve, and it just says the model number. So not too much information on this watch. This one here has got an exhibition back. The other version that I have actually has the just solid back, and it just says Invicta Reserve. So this watch again is now being referred to as the Grand Octane. For whatever reason, I heard that maybe Invicta got in some kind of trouble, or maybe some kind of copyright infringement based on the name Octane. There might be another company who makes Octane watches. I'm just not really sure. However, right now this is. If you're looking for this watch, for this series of watch, you'll either find it by Grand Octane or Grand Arsenal, okay? The Grand part of it refers to the full-size version, and then the standard one refers to the 48mm at the bezel, mid-size version, and the full-size is 50 at the bezel. Although if you measure this watch all the way to the crown and pushers, and they're so large in this watch they say wears like a 63mm watch. And let me tell you, I own 4 of them, and it sure as heck does. This is my favorite watch ever made. I'll probably never love a watch this much. Not necessarily saying this color combo, although this one has grown on me quite a bit. My favorite watch is done, this exact watch with the rose and yellow tone is my all-time go-to when I just want something that's just really over the top. However, I got this one in the rose tone with silver. I have it again in the yellow and rose tone, all silver, and this one the yellow and silver. This one's done with a black face. And you have your black kind of like lug nuts on the bezel. It is a rotating bezel. The polishing runs down the center of the band. Everything else is matte finish, including the bezel, which is gold, yellow gold in this one. And then you have some polishing right around the inside edge of the bezel, which is done in a polished stainless silver. Again, exhibition back on this one. This particular one is powered by the Ronda. Ooh, no, this one's the Z60, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I tried to pull up the information on here, but this watch right now, it's really difficult to get. Let me give you a couple price points on it. From what I could find on this watch right now, if you were to try to find this one, you are looking at average price on this thing right now is $500 to $600. Again, that changes. This color combo right now is very rare. It's a really sweet looking watch. You can probably get the all gold one cheaper right now. It just depends. Invicta's really strange because they have put a huge retail value on their watches. Like the tag you get will say like $3,000, but nobody in their right mind pays that. It's not a $3,000 watch, but it is a $300 to $600 watch. Again, depending on the movement you get. There's the automatic ones which you're always going to pay more for, but this is just a sweet watch. This watch has really grown on me as far as like the black face, because I really wanted the two-tone, and I picked this one up because I got a deal on it. I personally paid for $425 for this watch. Again, I picked it up when there was no, there was not like a huge inventory of these. Right now, you can't even get this thing for a decent price. You'll see them go down all the way to like $280. It just depends on the availability and how much they're making. Even at $4 something, this watch, is worth every penny of it. These watches, when I wear these four Grand Octanes or Grand Arsenal, depending on when you bought it. But for today's purposes, let's refer to it as the Grand Octane, okay? This watch gets compliments left and right. My coworkers have bought this watch from seeing it on my wrist. It is just a tank of a watch. A little bit of specifics on it here. I'll give you some of the measurements like I normally do. you are looking at, bear with me here, I gotta pull up a different model here, but it's the same watch. Well, I know it's 58 millimeters at the bezel. You're looking at 63 millimeters at the 63 millimeters at the actual crown protector and pushers. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. I just had this information here. They probably sold out already. That's how hot these things are. Alright, there we go. Alright, so again, they refer to this as 63 millimeters. Again, it's not the bezel. It's going to be at the crown. And I know they don't normally measure watches like that. However, because the watch is so big, I'll get a close-up there with the crown and pushers. It just wears like a gigantic 63 millimeter watch. 17 millimeters in thickness. This watch weighs about a pound. It's not quite as heavy as the Venom, but darn near close. Again, most of these are going to be powered by Ronda 8040 chronograph movement if you get the quartz version. This one here I think is a Z60. I think a lot of the newer ones that come with the Z60 movement. You'll see slight differences as far as like, you know, whether they have the other ones I have the snapback date on them. Just depends. I'm never too concerned with the movement. I just love the way it looks. And they all make it. It's a Swiss-made movement. It's still fantastic. 9 inches in bracelet length. So if you're a really big guy, this watch's got plenty of links where it'll be able to fit you. 660 feet of water resistance, and of course 30 millimeters in bandwidth. This is a tank of a watch. This is one of the 2 biggest watches that Invicta makes. And again, if you are new to my channel, you know the whole point of this video, the whole thing that kind of sets my videos apart is not only do I tell you about the watch, do a little show and tell, but I show you what it looks like on the wrist. I found that extremely helpful when making a purchase. I know the first time I looked at Invicta watches, I was looking at the Venom 5730, and I just didn't buy it. I just didn't know what it was going to look like. And I started looking for videos, and I found one guy who had a Noma 5, and I loved the way it looked, and I was like, I'm sure I'll love the Venom. And after that, the snowball effect happened, where I just started buying Invictas. So I have about a 7-inch wrist. I'm about 5 foot 8 inches tall. I weigh about 175 pounds. So most watches, especially of this size, look really big on me, which is what I like. Again, if you're a big guy, this watch is going to look great on you. So there's a little side shot of it. And I'm going to back up a little bit. One of my subscribers said that I didn't show the watch because I kind of pride myself on the videos as far as the whole, you know, a real sticking point is I show you what it looks like on the wrist. He said I didn't show it enough on the wrist. So I just want to get back a little bit. Try to get the light to hit it a few different angles here. Just a beautiful, beautiful watch. I like the black face too, because when you're wearing like a black shirt like I am now, it kind of like blends in real nice. Then you have the contrast of you know, the yellow tone gold and stainless. It looks really nice. I do find myself wearing this one whenever I'm wearing a black shirt. Some of my other ones have like a mother of pearl face and like rose tone. Those ones I kind of wear like with anything else, of course. And when I really want to, you know, rock the man, who am I kidding? These things just look great with whatever you're wearing. But I will go with the black. The black, it looks good with a black shirt on. Just a tank of a watch. Let me go ahead and take it off again. I'll show you a few more close-ups of this watch here. You can see the exhibition back. Nothing really to write home about on the back because the movement, you're not, you know, if it was an automatic, you'd see all the parts moving around there. But I always kind of wonder, you know, what Invicta does on some of their other watches, like the Sea Hunter and like the Noma 5, they put a decorative, almost like a grill in there. Like the Sea Hunter, if you ever seen the back of that, if you haven't, check out my other videos. The Sea Hunters have like a big blue propeller, which looks really cool. This one here, they just got the yellow, and that's because the movement is actually comes in the yellow like that. So not really much to look at. I wish they would have done something a little different on this one. I know you don't really see that. It's on the back of the watch, but if you're going to put a window in there, maybe down the road, maybe you should put something like, if they could ever settle on a name, maybe do something kind of cool back there. I'm not sure what, but I know like the Noma 5, it has like this furnace blue, just like a lattice work, and it just looks really cool. But nonetheless, I mean, it's a gorgeous watch. Here's a side shot, pushers and crown. These, of course, naturally are screw down. Invicta engraved. It's a deep engraving too on the side. And I apologize for the camera. You know, I'm recording these on an iPad, so they just don't, you just don't get that quality that you'd get on like an actual camcorder. But down the road, depending on, you know, how successful the channel becomes. So there it is, folks. That is, again, I gotta look again here because I forgot. I got so many watches. The 15825 Invicta Grand Octane. My favorite watch. If you've picked up your first Invicta and you got something in like the 50mm range and you like the way that feels, get this one next. But I do warn you, if you get this one next, no matter what you get after that, it's gonna kind of suffer by comparison, because really, this is like, I mean, one of the most fantastic Invictas. And again, that's very subjective. I mean, everybody has their own taste, but everybody who's posted on my channel comments that this thing kind of ruins you, because it's so hard to put on another watch after wearing this thing. Just a gorgeous watch. Now, there's also a rumor. Not a rumor, I know it's fact. Invicta also just came out with a new Grand Octane you're going to be seeing pretty soon. It's called the Coalition Octane, after the Coalition Forces. The only difference with it, it's got a few different, a little logo down here that says Coalition Octane. I guess they kind of decided on some kind of name. I'm not sure if it says Coalition Octane or Coalition Forces. If you don't know what Coalition Forces like Invicta is, check out my other video, Coalition Forces. Really nice looking watch. They're all nice. I mean, they're all nice no matter which one you get. But the face is different. They've done like this kind of like almost like they split the watch into 3 pie shapes, and you'll have to see it for yourself. Once I get my hands on one, I'll go ahead and post a video. But you know, I don't know what they're gonna cost, because I don't really think they're that different compared to the other ones. So I mean, if they're gonna start charging like, you know, an arm and a leg for them, they didn't really come out with any color combos that I really find interesting of the couple that I've seen. So I think, you know, they really need to kind of do something a little different. I think the back idea is really great, and I think what would be really nice, the other one's a Sea Hunter, and that one is basically the same size, except it's super thick. It's like 23mm thick. And that's a tank. That is the biggest one Invicta makes. So if you're looking for the biggest, baddest, like that's the one. And check out my other video. They don't call it this. I've named it this. The Invicta Sea Hunter 3. And that's because they've changed the bezel. And they've changed the face. And it just was an improvement from the other one. The other one had like a rubberized ring around it. Still a beautiful watch. You can see that on one of my other videos. See, just, you know, YouTube Sea Hunter. But the new one is just, it's just really night and day different. It's a really huge improvement. So this one here, I think would be really great if they did something with like a really thick case. But just by itself, it's a beautiful watch. Definitely pick it up for your collection. And that's really about it. That's really all I have to say about that. That's my show and tell on the Invicta 15825 Grand Octane. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already. Or subscribe quickly. Or subscribe whenever, you know what I'm trying to say. Just subscribe is what I'm trying to say. If you look at some of the links, there's a few cards that pop up on the video. They'll take you to my website, PHATKATWatches.com. There's also information in description, or the website in description. Basically, the website puts a little bit more information. I'm going to start adding where you can buy this stuff from reputable sellers. The links that I have on there right now from eBay, when you go ahead and go through those links, they'll take you to some of the sellers I think are decent and some of the best deals on there. Where you're going to be getting this product where you're not going to have any kind of issues. What else? Oh, also, if you like the channel, again, like I said, subscribe. But also, if you're in the market for these watches and you see my video, and thousands of people have said, man, I watched your video and I went and bought the watch because of your video. If that's the case and you do end up buying it on eBay, if you go to Fat Cat Watches and click through those links, I do get a little bit of a kickback from that, which helps support the channel. Helps to possibly maybe buy a new camera. Helps to, you know, get some more watches to review. So it does help support the channel. And there also is a, you can actually support the channel through donations through YouTube. I know that's kind of a stretch because nobody really donates to stuff like this. But you never know. If you really like the channel and you want to help out, have me review another watch, by all means, great, but I don't see that happening. But as far as making the purchase, you're getting something out of it. You know, if you do end up purchasing through eBay, please click through those links, and that'll basically give me a little bit of kickback that, like I said, does help support the channel. If you don't purchase or you don't want to do that, that's fine too. I just hope that my videos are helpful to you, and you end up getting some of these bad boy Invictas on your wrist, okay? So thanks again for watching, and you guys have a great day.